Have you ever looked at someone successful and wondered, what do they have that I don't? Maybe a colleague who got promoted, a friend who built a business, a student who topped the class, or a neighbor who seemed to have life figured out. And somewhere in your mind, you have asked that question, what is their secret? Is it talent? Is it intelligence? Is it luck? Is it money or connections?
Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. It's no secret, friends, you have a purpose and you have the highest potential. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. So dream big, truly believe in it, and achieve it 100% to live the life fullest. And I want to join hands with you on this mission to learn and grow together, to engage, enlighten, and empower. Yes, this is solo episode of your host Jyoti G on Stars of Learning podcast. Let's begin.
For a long time, even I thought it was one of those things. But after, watching people grow, they fail, they rise, they fall, rise again. And with over 2 decades of work experience, I discovered something surprising. The difference is often not skill. And that's exactly what we are going to be talking about it today. Hello friends, I'm Jyoti. This episode is one I genuinely believe can change your life without changing your circumstances. The one thing skills can't teach you is your attitude. And I think by end of this conversation, right, you're going to start seeing your own daily life a little differently. That's my promise. Let me start with something simple. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. Same road, same signal, same heat, same delay. One person is angry, frustrated, honking, complaining, calling out names, calling everyone to explain why they are late and all of that. The other one switches on music, enjoys the moment, maybe even sings badly, but both arrive at the office at the same time. One arrives exhausted, the other arrives energized. What changed? Not the traffic, not the weather, the attitude. So friends, two people lose a job. One says my life is over. The other says maybe my life is redirecting me to a different plan. Another classic example is two students fail an exam. One decides, that they are not at all good enough and even they may commit suicide. The other decides that they need a better strategy, better planning, better execution. Same event, different response, different future. Because life doesn't always choose our circumstances, right? But attitude chooses our response, how we respond to the situations. So friends, there's a book called Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. And here's the one idea I want you to carry from it. Your thoughts shape your attitude shapes your action, and your action shapes your result. And your results create your destiny. And this whole chain, right, starts inside your head long before anything is visible to the world. So friends, let me make that real, I once told my mentor, very excited because I did one of the project for the first time, and he smiled and said something, which I can never forget even till today. No, Jyoti, you already did it many times in your mind, and today you simply executed it. How true, right? Every achievement is created twice, first in the mind and then in the reality. The mind sees it, the heart believes it, the hands execute it. And attitude sits right in the middle, guys. Now, coming back to work, right? You know that feeling in a work meeting, especially when someone starts dropping that corporate jargons like confetti, saying, let's synergize, cross-functional deliverables, doable things. and optimize stakeholder bandwidth, blah blah blah, and many jargons. And inside your head, you're googling to know the meaning. What is this? Can they simply say the task what I'm supposed to be doing? Can they be real? But instead of asking what do, we smile, nod, and feel quietly embarrassed, even to ask and clarify, our doubts, right? In fact, I've gone through that. I had a boss, who spoke exactly like that. He had that jazz, he had that flamboyant style, full of aura. Initially, I felt intimidated because later, then just by observing and learning, I realized something. Every environment, right, teaches us something. Agree? Sometimes skills, sometimes confidence, sometimes language, sometimes it gives us the kind of experience, knowledge, exposure, and all of that. And that's why I love this movie, English Vinglish. Imagine what people made Sri Devi feel. They made her feel very small because she didn't know English. And she had two choices: feel embarrassed or grow. And she chose growth, friends. And you saw the movie at the end, how it was. She quietly joined a class, she started learning, she started improving, she started practicing, she started networking, and eventually the journey changed, right? How she saw herself, how the world received her also at the end. And people started accepting her. So let me ask you something. What have you stopped learning because you're afraid of looking foolish? It could be a language, a technology, especially in this AI world we are living in. Public speaking. Sometimes, friends, the biggest prison has no walls. It's simply the fear of what people might think. That's a huge invisible wall in your mind. Agree? Yeah? Then there's one more favorite movie I want to talk about is Three Idiots. Remember that rancher? He wasn't the smartest, because he studied more. He was different because he learned differently, curious about everything. He wanted to explore. He wanted to explore what's in science and engineering. And most students, if you see in that campus, right, they studied from fear, competition, fear of marks, fear of failure, fear of parents. And we all know that students, right, who prayed that night before an exam, including me. We would say, promise, I will start studying from the next semester. Please, this time save me, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure that child would be doing that from the class 6. And in that movie, it was a reflection for me. Rancho was not driven by fear, right? He was driven by curiosity. And what did curiosity do for him? Curiosity will always take you further than fear ever can. Right? And that's attitude, friends. Now let's talk about attitude in its purest form. RCB fans, including me, and I'm not a cricket lover, but yeah, RCB, yes, because I live in Bengaluru and I cross that stadium every day from work. Home to work, I see that stadium. Honestly, I feel, every RCB fan deserves an honorary PhD in resilience, right? I mean, because, season after season, the same statement, right? Ee sala cup namde. People laughed about it, there were memes, exploded, experts doubted, social media too, don't ask me. But the belief remained, that ee sala cup namde. And because attitude is not about pretending failure did not happen at all, but attitude is refusing to accept, refusing to let that failure have the final word. Again, I repeat, attitude is refusing to let failure have the final word. And some people think attitude means being positive once. No, the real attitude is being an RCB fan for 18 years and still saying, "Ee sala cup namde." And then RCB won, right? Twice in a row, if you have seen last 2 IPLs. And look at Rajat Patidar, captain of RCB now, once a replacement player, right? Not even in the headline, not a superstar, yet he stayed ready. Means he kept preparing, he kept improving, working when nobody was watching. Eventually the replacement player now became the leader. What I'm saying is life often rewards uh, prepared people, not lucky people. And Rajat had that attitude. Yeah, attitude is a key, friends. Now, let me tell you something personal. This is not from a movie or from the cricket. This is my life. So, friend, if you many of you know me, then you would know that I got married early. Like when I started my 12th standard, I had a child while I was pursuing my higher degree, and people had already decided my future for me. Like they would say she can't study further with a kid. Even if she work, it will be a lower salary, limited growth, limited expectation, limited timeline, because you can't leave the family and the children and then look focus on the career. And that comments, right, that quietly said, this is as far as I can go. And I did not have any career oriented woman also in my family to look up to, and not relatives, not friends who gave me such hope. Some days I almost believed them. But whenever I came home discouraged, right, my dad and my husband would ask me one simple question: can you prove them wrong? Not with arguments, not with complaints, not with anger, not with frustration, but with my action. And friends, that question, right, that stayed with me. That question changed everything. It became a fuel to me, not to fight with other people, but to fight my own self-doubt. Every degree I earned was my answer. Every certification I earned was my answer. Every milestone was my answer in my career, whatever I have achieved. And all of this while raising my two children, not because life was easy, but because I refused to accept someone else's version of the future. So friends, today I've led function at a global level. I've received national and international recognition. I've been invited to speak at many forums. But those achievements are not the point. The point is this: every time someone underestimated me, I had a choice. I had a choice to observe their opinion and shrink, cry, and go low, or use it as a fuel. And I chose fuel. I chose fuel every time. Every single time in my life incidents, I've chosen fuel. Looking back now, right, I realize the biggest battle was never with other people's opinion or what they say. It was with the voice inside me that almost agreed with them, right? The fuel is my attitude now. And I let my results speak louder than their opinions, with no arguments, no complaints, no frustration, no anger. And there is so much of peace in doing it that way. You know that? I'm telling you this not to impress you, but I'm telling you because somewhere right now, someone listening is sitting with a label someone handed them. Maybe it's your education, your age, too old, too young, your background, your gender, the wrong language, the wrong experience, your family situation. Maybe someone recently told you, it could be in words or it could be in action, that you're not capable or you're not quite enough for what you're dreaming about. And maybe life handed you that label also. Maybe you have taken it to yourself, the label. So friends, I want you to listen carefully. Their opinion is not your destiny. Agree? Their doubt is not your data. Their fear is not your future. Your attitude is still yours, and nobody can take it away unless you give that permission. Are you with me? Yeah? Attitude stays with you. And I also hear you loud and clear. Attitude is easy when life is good. The real test comes when life hurts. Yes, I agree. Health issues, financial challenges, broken relationship, loss of any kind, disappointment, trust failure. And those moments don't need fake positivity, guys. They need courage. And attitude doesn't say everything is fine. Attitude says everything is not fine, but I'm still moving forward. Do you let that hard chapter become your permanent address? Or do you say, yes, this is hard, I'm still going to go forward? And that's life, friends. And that's the courage and that's the attitude. And I've seen people go through enormous pain and setbacks, and they'll come out more warmth, more focus, more clarity, more strength, more energized than before. And I've also seen people who have got stuck in one difficult moment years ago, and they color it everything since then in the same way. And the difference was never the situation, right? It was always the attitude. That choice doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. And most of the time, right, it's quiet, it's private, it is very deep, it is personal. But it quietly determines who you want to become, how you want to become, what you want to become. And that's your attitude. So let's make this practical. Try the 5 action challenge this week, friends. 3 is too lazy, hence I say 5. So first and foremost, I want you to notice your self-talk. When something goes wrong, catch what you say to yourself. Replace with I can't do this with I haven't figured this out yet, let me explore. I think that shift from closed question to open, right, changes how you approach challenges over the time. And second one, reduce negativity. Watch what you're feeding your mind. Because, I'm definite, we are careful about what we eat, how we look, how we talk to people. But what about the things, what we consume mentally? If your day starts with gossip, comparison, jealousy, hatred, and complaints, online or offline, that becomes the lens through which you see everything. And I'm with you, negativity exists at home itself and with people around you. I want you to curate your environment like it matters, because it does. Third, practice gratitude. I'm sure, you would be doing it, but I want you to say, make it specific. Not just like, I'm grateful for my life, but something very real, saying that, my colleague covered for me today. My husband cooked my favorite food. For me, my sister listened to my cry for more than an hour. Movie with friends. Even an umbrella which covered you in rain, right? So what I want to say is, specific gratitude, right? It registers emotionally and it slowly shifts your default mode. Try it for a week. I've also spoken this in length in episode 17. Do check out. It's on journaling, and gratitude has a topic there. And fourth, when something fails, ask a better question. Definitely there would be things which will go haywire. Not saying, why does this always happen to me, whining, but what is this teaching? The first is a dead end, the second is a door. So ask better questions, friend. And fifth, I want you to surround yourself with growth, like-minded people, right-minded people. Attitude spreads. Jim Rohn, a famous philosopher, he said that, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So get around with people who talk about ideas, own their mistakes, learn from each other, celebrates others' win. You'll be surprised to see how quickly it rubs off. These are some tiny actions, friends, but massive impact on your life. Do practice it. Yeah. And let's go back to where we started, right? You definitely can't control everything that happens today. The traffic will be there, whatever it is. The difficult colleague will continue being difficult to you. You might not be able to change the boss. You can't change your parents and siblings, right? Your best plan will go sideways. But how you choose to meet those moments, and that's completely yours. And that choice, made small every single day, right? It will build something that shapes your entire life. Transformation begins when attitude improves. And that's life, friends. And here's my challenge before you close this episode, because this is very important. Observe your own attitude, guys. Just for one full day. Not to judge it, not to, just to see it. Notice how you speak to yourself when things go wrong. Notice how you react when someone challenges you, someone annoys you. Notice how you feel when somebody wins or when you fail. Notice, because what you can see, right, you can change. And what you change in yourself changes everything around you, right? So start noticing just one day, practice them and see with the difference. And success is not only about reaching the top, right? It's about becoming the kind of a person who can stay there gracefully, bring others along, and actually enjoy the whole journey. Because success is not a destination, it's a journey, it's a continuity, it's a lifelong journey. So before I leave you today, remember this, guys. Your attitude, right, is your invisible power. Protect it, strengthen it, use it wisely. Because the quality of your attitude will ultimately determine the quality of your life. Agree? Yes, it is the fact. Yeah, the quality of your attitude will determine the quality of your life. This is Jyoti from Stars of Learning podcast signing off this episode. The one thing skills can't teach you is attitude. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep choosing your attitude, because attitude truly is everything. All the very best. Thank you so much.